responsibility. But mate, I'm more than happy to humiliate you. What better way to start than by introducing the beautiful, lovely, charming couple we're all here to see today. Always happy, effortlessly bringing happiness into the lives of those around them. And that's enough about me and Tom. We're here to humiliate Rich after all. Those who are alive to enjoy the decade, cast your minds back to 1981. A time of newfound financial prosperity, huge technological advances, shoulder pads and great music. This was the year our good friend Richard was delivered, much to his disgruntlement. Unbeknownst to Rich, he needed to be disgruntled. As he was lucky enough to be born into the beginnings of a loving family in parents Mal and Christine. Sure enough, they sought to impart on him their good values and share their wealth of knowledge. Through the course of this little presentation, we're going to show you just how that happened.
Being a Christian family, Richard's mum and dad sought to teach Richard about the Holy Trinity. The Father, Son and Holy Spirit, which has helped Rich forge a meaningful insight and find firm foundations in his faith. Of course, this is all very good stuff. In more secular terms, especially as a man, the Holy Trinity means something altogether completely different. It's something we can all appreciate the importance of. Where would we be without them? We sense that efforts were made by a man and Chris to teach Richard the importance of the Holy Trinity, as you can see here in one of Richard's favourite photos. Note the keys in the foreground of the picture, and Richard, suitably clothed in his baby grow, hopefully gleaning the importance of keeping one's keys, one of the Holy Trinity, close to hand. Fast forward 30 years or so, and we see Rich again in his baby. Looking most pleased with himself. Moments after Neil took this photo of Rich, he proceeded to panic as he couldn't find his wallet. One of the Holy Trinity, of course. Maybe that lesson wasn't something that was easily accessible by Rich.
As well as being pretty well sorted spiritually, Mal and Christine are very well grounded in their everyday lives. They sought to teach Rich from a very early age about not wasting money and resources unnecessarily. While in the bathtub full of water, when he gets to sing, was surprised. Rich being Rich obviously interpreted this lesson in his own way. Staying on the topic of personal hygiene, in a recent episode a couple of months ago, Rich was caught short in the bathroom. There was a distinct shortage of toilet paper. In a show of resourcefulness, Rich saw it quite acceptable to turn a perfectly edible slice of white bread into a slice of brown bread. To clarify, he substituted bog roll for a slice of bread. To quote the proverb, he claimed experience was the best thing since perforated toilet roll.
A hot topic in today's modern society is healthy living and the importance of exercise being integrated into our hectic lifestyle. You can see from this picture that Mal and Chris were true trailblazers in this respect, as the family would regularly get away on active holidays with their push bags safely mounted on the car. And clearly encouraging Richard to lend a hand, we see Mal's hopeful optimism in a smidgen of his top-notch work ethic would rub off onto his eldest born. However, when left to his own devices, we can see in this picture that Rich again had learned very little from old Mal's shining example. We really have no idea what's going on.
Let's move on to another photo and another very tenuous link, this time to respect. In particular, respect for animals. We see in this picture a dapper-looking Mal encouraging Laura and Rich to feed the pigeons and embrace a respectful kinship with our feathered friends. We can also see that Rich is wearing a policeman's hat. However, this doesn't suit our agenda, so we'll gloss over that. Back to the life lessons, and we can honestly say that this is one lesson that Rich clearly gained a firm grasp of. If we look at the picture, we can see Rich posing with his new friend. Bought for him as a wonderful, thoughtful gift on the morning of his stag do. After the best part of the day attended to his new fishers. To his new fisher's needs, Rich was beginning to feel slightly worse for wear. Despite this, Rich managed to put the welfare of the goldfish first. In truly commendable act, Rich found a loving home for his new pet with a stranger who was keen to take the goldfish off his hands. Staying on the subject of animals, despite this meaningful act, the fruit of good parenting, there can still be times when Rich shows concerning behaviour, like in this picture. From a trip to London a couple of years ago, where he can be seen horsing around.
Rich wasn't always the fearless specimen we think of today. It's safe to say that he grew into that chiseled jawline we're all familiar with. In his youth, on a family trip to Flamingo Land, he was encouraged to have a go on all the white knuckle rides and follow Mel's brave, thrill-seeking example and follow his strong show of mettle. I have on good authority that despite Rich trying to look composed in this picture, have you got the clip? It scared the life out of him. Needless to say, work had to be done to encourage Rich to be a manly, fearless sort. A family trip to Brimham Rocks was organised, which was key to boosting Rich's confidence, and he quickly developed some daring traits. Like the lion's epiphany in The Wizard of Oz, Richard fully discovered his sense of bravery. Nothing could stop him. In fact, all he really wanted to do, somewhat dangerously, was slide, slide, slide. With some firm bounds set by his worried parents, Rich soon learned to rein in his insatiable desire to slide. It was some years later, whilst rollerblading, unsupervised of course, that Rich had a sudden relapse. He was high in midair after taking off from a homemade launch ramp, and against better judgment, Rich impulsively face planted. Landed on the ground with his face and doing quite an impressive slide. Like in this picture. On reflection, the sombre expression in the photo demonstrates that it wasn't such a good idea.
Time passed as it naturally does, seemingly in the blink of an eye, and before they knew it, Richard had legally become an adult. We see him celebrating here with Mal and Chris enjoying his first legal drink. With his newfound freedom of adulthood, Rich found himself in a position where he could do whatever he pleased. Which, as you can see, is generally arsing about. When we think of Rich, then, and we mean this in the nicest possible way, we think of a lovable idiot. He's an endearing man with good values, a good heart, and someone who we're all glad to call a friend, most of the time. Yes, he's always late to every engagement, but he's a man that, frustratingly, is sort of worth the wait. He's a man that calls a spade a spade, and a man whose opinion we hold in high rank. Joking aside, we can't fault Mal and Chris's sterling efforts in raising a fine, upstanding young man. It's no surprise then that Rich managed to bag himself a wonderful woman who we fully approve of, but more importantly, can also call a friend. Rachel has an uncanny knack of being able to enjoy and embrace every aspect of Richard's nature and love him all the same. We know Rachel has the perfect skill set to look after Rich, and we have no doubt whatsoever that you'll both share fulfilling lives as husband and wife. So please, don't leave Rich hanging like in this picture, as we propose a toast to the new Mr. and Mrs. Whittaker.